encouraging. It's not a perfect system, but
Yeah.
it's the best we've got.
Look, I don't think any system is perfect. But at the end of the day, if you see something very clear cut, yes, then you should speak out against it. Yes. But today people have no choice, you know. Like when nearly 1 million people marched against the war against Iraq, who listened to the people? Nobody did. You see what I mean? Democracy,
Marching doesn't.
democracy isn't what it is.
It's the ballot box that matters. Marching doesn't really achieve anything. So that wasn't
No,
about
no.
democracy.
The person you elect is for the people and by the people and of the people. That's what democracy means in a nutshell. If you are not going to listen to the people who elected you, then the person doesn't deserve to be maybe to be the leader of all these people who elected him.
These questions need to be decided at the ballot box, not just marching in the streets.
No, but you see what happens is that people, before the ballot is cast, you know, these candidates, they promise you the world. Once they have been elected, you know what happens to most, I'm not saying all the politicians, but I think most of them, they basically go back on their promises. And this has been going on for centuries now. And nobody.
And if there was a referendum on the Iraq war, then that would be democracy in action. But marching in the street is not democracy.
No, marching in the protesting is part of the rights of the people.
Yeah, and then when you have an election, then
it means
you can answer these
something
questions.
that the people are unhappy about, so they protest against that.
And hopefully the political parties will then pick that up as a question for the next election. But just marching in the street is not democracy.
No, I didn't say it was democracy. I'm saying it's part of a democratic system to voice your opinion. Yes, I never said marching is democracy. Yes, but in a democracy, that is a right given to the people that they can air their views, their opinions freely.
But your expectation was that march should have had some effect in democracy.
Yeah, every protest has to have a reason why they're protesting, and there has to be some action taken rather than just ignoring those people, especially if they are like 1 million strong. Yeah?
Well, there was 1 million people marching about Remain, but there were 17.4 million.
No, they were not marching. There was a ballot cast for that.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And that's the reason we're having this Brexit.
No, the government didn't pay any attention to that.
It's just been delayed, that's all.
Remain.
It's just been delayed.
Just because 1 million people are marching.
Just because majority of the London voted to remain, and the other majority outside London voted to separate from the European Union, then in a democracy normally it's a majority which wins, and that is exactly what happened.
Could we just touch on? I've heard a number of people say today that one of, I don't know, it's your cameraman is now in Belmarsh prison. So,
what do you mean by my cameraman? What makes you think it's my cameraman?
Well, that's why I've put a caveat on that. I don't know whether he was, but I've heard people say that your team.
So maybe you should go and get proof from the people.
No, I'm just asking because.
No. Before you ask, the way you said your cameraman.
No, I didn't say
No,
that.
you said your. What is your thought about your cameraman who's in Belmarsh prison? It means you have already made up your mind.
Well, that's why I'm asking you because I don't know.
So maybe you should go and ask those people who made these rumors and allegations that he's our cameraman. Number one, we do not hire people as our cameraman. People are free to record here, yes, because he happens to be a Muslim, he records Muslims, which is quite logical. Yes, there are people who record as neutral, there are people who record a Christian channel out there.
Okay,
so
this is a guy that isn't your cameraman, but he's
in no shape, way or form was he our cameraman. None of us, neither myself, Mansoor, Ali Dawah, Adnan, Rashid, all of us. In fact, the cameraman himself said this. Yes.
Okay.
So if you're going to ignore all that and go by the rumors spread by a few people like these guys over there.
I've come to get it from the horse's mouth, you see.
Well, you had it from the horse's mouth from Abu Qasim himself. That he's not our cameraman. What more you want?
Well, I haven't heard that myself.
Exactly. So do your research before.
Well, I've come here to do my research. I've come to.
No, this is not called research. This is you not knowing the background and asking questions, basically.
Yeah, well, I think that's legitimate.
But anyway, look, at the end of the day, people record in Speaker's Corner. Yes, we don't hire them, we don't pay them. Yes, they come and record us. That's up to them. We can't stop them. Yes, it would be contrary to the this place here, which gives you the freedom of speech and freedom of representation, if we stop people recording us all the time, yes, I have the right to move away if I wanted to. He has the right to move away if he wants to, but we don't hire anyone, and they don't represent us. We don't hire anyone. He's not our cameraman. Yeah. What is your view about people like Tommy Robinson, who reads the statement from Martin Sellner, who's been in court for being associated with terrorists? In fact, he was the one that the New Zealand terrorists who attacked the mosques, over there, that terrorist quoted Martin Sellner in his documents and so on. What is your view about Tommy Robinson reading his letter and his statement in Speaker's Corner?
I heard it. I wasn't here that day, but I've heard it online. But you're making a connection there. A tenuous connection. I don't know about that.
You didn't know about Abu Qasim either, but you still came and asked me. I'm asking you the same way.
Well, I don't
what
know.
Is your view now that I've given you the background? What is your view? If what I told you was true, would you think Tommy Robinson's reading the statement of a terrorist sympathizer was okay?
Well, I don't know about that connection. So you're saying there's a connection there, but I'm not sure whether that's
Which part of what I just said you didn't find there is a connection? I said listen.
Tommy's connected to Sellner. Sellner's connected to
No, listen once again. You know about the terrorists who attacked the mosque in New Zealand, right? Christchurch attack, or you never heard of that?
Yeah,
you heard of that, good. That terrorist, who was convicted as a terrorist, and who the Prime Minister of New Zealand stated as a terrorist, he quoted Martin Sellner. You know Martin Sellner, don't tell me you don't know Martin Sellner. Okay, good.
Married that woman Pettibone, is it that Sellner?
Martin Sellner, he was the one...
Is that the fellow that's married, what's her name, the American Pettibone?
He was the one whose letter Tommy Robinson read at Speaker's Corner.
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect the...
Yeah, so I'm connecting the dots for you if you cannot do it yourself. Okay? If the terrorist quotes this guy, Martin Sellner, and who happens to be actually, whose letter was read by Tommy Robinson at Speaker's Corner, do you not... Wait. You see, do you not connect the dots now?
Well, you see, let me give you an example, because there was a guy that drove a car into a mosque here in the UK.
Let's discuss that first. Let's discuss that later. Yeah.
Because there was a BBC documentary a few days before, like a drama documentary.
Yeah.
And the fellow that drove that vehicle into the mosque said
that
he'd been made angry because he watched that programme on the BBC. But he also mentioned something about Tommy Robinson.
Yes.
So
he was actually a fan of Tommy Robinson.
I believe so. But he said that he did it because of the BBC drama that he'd watched 3 or 4 days before.
Right.
So is it the BBC?
No, the BBC portrayed. Which was it about Tommy Robinson?
No, it's called Three Girls. The drama was called Three Girls, and it was about a grooming gang story, maybe in Rotherham or other countries.
So do you not connect the dots, even in that story? So basically, you got people like Tommy Robinson who go about...
And the BBC.
Wait.
So you got if you
but BBC is just reporting. They're the reporters.
You've got to talk about the BBC as well. Are they as bad as Tommy Robinson? Because BBC is journalism. Hear me out. BBC is journalism. So they report. Listen. And drama.
Listen. They report about people based on the evidence that they have. Yes. Right now, I'm telling you about the evidence that was discovered after the attack on the New Zealand mosque. Now, do you have anything to say? So far, you have evaded this question. Why is that?
Because it could be the same sort of connection, because I don't know about that connection. And I've just told you now that the BBC inspired this terrorism.
You didn't know about Abu Qasim either, but you were very keen to ask that question.
I didn't know his name. I don't know his name.
Whose name?
The person that you're talking about, this cameraman.
Oh, you didn't even know his name?
No.
The cameraman.
No,
so why are you asking me questions about things you don't know? And when I ask you the same thing, all you say is I don't know.
I'm asking you questions because
So am I.
Because I don't know.
I'm asking you questions as well. But you're reluctant to answer that.
Because I don't
know. When it comes to people like Tommy Robinson, when it comes to people like the New Zealand attacker, do you at least condemn the attacks on the mosque?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Do you condemn the people that he was actually inspired by?
Well, I don't know about that because
Regardless
I
of
don't
who
know
they
how-
were, regardless of who they were,
How many times
would
they
you,
moved? You know,
would you condemn people that he was inspired by?
Well, he could have referred to a book by Enid Blyton that he read when he was a kid. And
So in other words, you don't want to condemn
I
people
don't
who are
know about
who,
that
who
connection.
inspire terrorists. That's up to you.
I don't
You
know.
see, I would condemn a person who inspires other terrorists, regardless of his faith.
do you condemn the BBC Panorama 3 Girls?
I haven't watched it, so I can't condemn something I didn't watch.
Well, okay, you're asking me something that I don't know about.
No, but I've told you the background already.
Well, I've told you the background.
You
about
just told me
Panorama.
3 girls. That's what you told me. How am I supposed to know a
You told me
documentary based
one
on 3
thing
girls?
that I don't know about. And I've told you something about it.
How much detail did you give me about the documentary? Hardly anything.
Well, I'll give you some more information. It's a drama called.
Okay, and you expect me to respond to you?
Well, all I'm saying is.
When
that
you don't respond to
expect-
any of my questions, why would you expect the same courtesy from me then? I don't
Well, we
understand.
need to be equal.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you're
trying to be
expecting-
equal. I'm saying,
You can't
I'm
understand.
saying
you can't
the.
answer my question. I can't.
No.
understand.
I asked you. I answered your first question about the cameraman. Then I asked you about the connection between Tommy Robinson, Martin Sellner, and the terrorists in New Zealand. But no, you didn't want to answer that question.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you an example where you can't answer.
No, I've answered your question about the cameraman. Did I not?
You can't
Let's be
answer
fair.
me about
Did I not
the
answer your question
panorama,
about the cameraman?
The 3 girls.
Forget the 3 girls.
Why should I
Did
forget
I
that?
answer? Because your first question
Well,
was
forget
about.
about your question then. If you're telling me to forget about that, I'll
No,
forget
no,
about
no.
what you're
Listen,
saying.
listen. Your first question was about the cameraman. Did I respond to you?
Yes, thank you.
Then I asked you about the connection between Martin Sellner, Tommy Robinson, and the
and
terrorist.
my response
Wait.
is about the panorama.
Let me finish.
documentary,
No.
3 girls,
No,
and
that was a
how
different question.
inspired-
Wait a minute.
Of course.
The question
you
I asked
came up
you.
with a different question, and now I'm coming up with a different question. And
Oh, for God's sake, this is like a
my
kindergarten.
answer counters your
person.
question.
No, all you
This
asked,
is very
what you did
similar.
was, instead of answering my question, you asked me a counter question.
Yes, the
I didn't
3
do that, man.
girls documentary.
Yeah, that's a counter question.
Drama. It's a drama.
That's a counter question.
Well, yours
Did
was
you
a
answer
counter.
my? No.
Yours
no,
was
no,
a
no.
counter to my.
Your question, cameraman, I answered already without a counter question. Did I not?
Just answer
Did
me
I not?
about the 3 girls drama.
Did I not answer your question about the camera?
BBC
Okay, look, if you don't want to answer,
inspired
that's fine. This is what happens. Whenever Tommy Robinson fans like him come, they don't want to answer questions because he's connected to Martin Sellner, a known terrorist sympathizer.
The BBC,
yes, but
3
he wants
girls
us to answer.
documentary drama.
I did not watch it.
Go away and watch it then.
Well, don't tell me to go away and watch something I don't want to, maybe.
Well,
Who are you
told
to tell me
go
what I
away
need to do?
and do some research. Well, I'm doing exactly the same what you told me to do.
Yeah, I told you to do
What's
the
good for the
research
goose
if
is
you
good
don't
for
know
the
the
gander.
connection. But I find it
So
very
go
difficult.
away,
You don't
do
know the
your
connection.
research.
If you know Tommy Robinson,
You're
you know
gonna tell
Martin
me
Sellner.
that. I can tell you that.
Tell me what?
Go away and do your research. You've told me to go and do something. I'm telling you to go
No,
away
you
and
said
do something.
to go and watch a documentary,
Go
which
and-
has got nothing to do with me.
Go and look
Yes,
at
which
how
has got
that-
nothing to do with me, right?
Go
Am
and
I
look
right?
at-
So,
That guy that drove that van into that guy, killed that guy outside
Yeah.
the mosque. He said he watched that drama documentary 3 days before, and that's what inspired him.
he also was inspired by Tommy Robinson. What have you got to do say with that? Why quiet now?
He said.
Why are you quiet now?
He was made angry.
Yes, no, you're quiet about his connection to Tommy Robinson. Because you're a
I'm
fan.
saying-
Just say it. This is the double standards, unfortunately, we see. Whenever we put the Tommy's fans on the spot, they will never ever condemn him. You know why? Because
why
this is the
aren't you-
bigotry.
why aren't you
This is the bigotry
condemning
we see in this.
The
guys.
BBC, in the same way that you condemn
I'm not a
Tommy
fan
Robinson.
of BBC, if that's what you want to know. But
Why
you're a fan of
Why
Tommy.
do you not condemn the BBC?
About what? Something I haven't watched? This is
Do your
outrageous.
research.
Don't
Do
tell
your
me.
research.
Don't tell me to condemn something before I've done the research.
Well, go away and do it then.
Don't tell me to go away and do something maybe I don't
You
want to
told
do.
me to go away and do something. I'm
No,
telling
I
you the
said.
same thing back.
I said if you don't know the connection between Tommy Robinson, Martin Sellner, and the terrorist bomber, then
I will go away and have a look at it.
Yes.
So in the same way, you go away and look at how the drama documentary 3 Girls inspired.
but you know the
that-
connection between the van which mowed down Muslims outside a mosque when they were coming from the prayers.
He watched.
Let me finish at least.
He watched
You know
the 3
very
Girls
well.
Drama
Yeah,
in his statement.
But you,
That's what
but
made
you
him
also
angry.
know.
That's what made
Hold
him
on,
do
hold
it.
on. Because you have done that bit of research, you also know that he was inspired by Tommy.
So
but you don't want to condemn that.
So which was it? The
Both
BBC?
of them. Maybe both of them.
To what proportion?
How would I
what
know?
What proportion would
How
you
would I know?
attach
Regardless
to
of the
either?
proportion, do you condemn Tommy for inspiring him.
Do you condemn the BBC drama
I have not
documentary?
watched the documentary. How many times I have to tell you?
I've just answered.
No,
your
you haven't.
question.
I asked you,
Exactly
do you
the same.
condemn?
My
Do you
question
condemn
to
his
you
inspiration?
Is equal to your question to
No,
me.
no. Because you know his connection with Tommy Robinson, that he was inspired by Tommy Robinson. It was in the papers. If you read
was
that,
inspired by the drama documentary Three Girls. It
plus
came out
Tommy, plus
a few
Tommy,
days before.
Plus
Hundreds
Tommy.
of thousands of people watched that.
Plus
drama
Tommy Robinson.
documentary. And that inspired many,
anyway,
many
look,
people around the country to be angry.
I
in
think
the
your
same
bigotry
way.
has been exposed, and that is important
Your ignorance
for
has
people
been
to know.
exposed and you don't want to go and look into.
When you haven't watched a documentary, it's not called ignorance. Not everybody watches every documentary.
You don't have to read. You don't have to watch the whole.
Okay, anyway, I
documentary.
think-
you can have a look at the
I
guy's
think I've wasted-
statement, the guy that
I've
drove
wasted
that
enough
van
time.
into the mosque. You can go and see his statement. Of
By
what
the way, do you
inspired
condemn
him.
the van driver who killed Muslims?
Of course, yes.
Do you condemn him?
Absolutely.
But you don't condemn the people that he was inspired by? Except the BBC.
The BBC. So if you. So
Why
what proportion of
the
blame
bigotry
goes
then?
Where?
If you condemn
How much goes to
BBC,
the BBC and how much goes to Tommy Robinson?
no, if
how
you,
much?
What do you mean how much? How much what?
How much inspiration? You're saying he was inspired.
Why didn't you ask the van driver?
Hundreds
Why
of-
asking me?
Millions of people watched.
Why
the
asking me?
drama
Ask the van
documentary.
driver. Ask the murderer. Ask the terrorist.
He has already said in his statement he was made angry by watching that drama documentary.
He also said he was
said-
inspired by Tommy, but you don't want to take that on board. Why?
I
Why the bigotry? Okay, anyway, thank you very much. I think your silence speaks volumes, and that is what's important. So at the end of the day, as Muslim, as a person who's proud to be a Muslim, I condemn all forms of terrorism, regardless of who has done it, whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim, whether it's a far-right person, whether it's a Hindu, whether it's an American or British, I don't care. If they are terrorists, they attack innocent people. To us, that is something unacceptable, that is un-Islamic, and that is also inhuman. Okay, you don't have to be a religious person to realize killing an innocent person, like the example this gentleman gave about a person who drove a van into Muslims who were coming back from their prayers, or a terrorist in New Zealand who killed people praying inside the mosque, or a person like in the London Bridge here, okay, twice I think on the London Bridge. All of them we condemn. We have got nothing at all to gain by not condemning them. Yes, this is something our religion teaches us. Yes, that a person who takes the life of one innocent person, it is as if you have taken the life of whole of mankind. This is in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 32, very clearly. Now, this is the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, he would condemn people who would kill animals unnecessarily. There was some ants, and people wanted to basically burn those ants, but they were told off by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam not to do it. So even the animal abuse was something that was condemned by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let alone innocent human beings. Okay.